I think it's always useful at the beginning of any discussion on biodiversity to reflect on how extraordinarily fortunate we are to be living on the only known planet with life, and a planet in which, if you look to the extraordinary diversity of life in, for example, any 1 acre of peatland or 1 acre of rainforest, extraordinary, impossible complexity of life. And it is, I think, an extraordinary mark of shame that over the last century, humans have been stripping the colour, the texture, the voice, the diversity, the sound, the richness, all of that complexity out of the environments in which we occupy. And the evidence is there in the massive escalation, in the loss of habitat, in the loss of species. And it is, I think, a very concerning indictment. We saw the research, the Spruced Up report recently from Neil Sargent and Noteworthy, which told us there have been only 3 environmental impact assessments for 17,000 afforestation licenses since 2010. The environmental impact assessment is a tool we already have. It should be used robustly and at every opportunity, and it should not be something that we seek to avoid or an unnecessary hurdle that we try to evade wherever we can. The government can immediately commit to using the environmental impact assessment tool far more widely and robustly. We have tools in terms of the directives on birds, on habitats, indeed on water from Europe. Again, we need an active, robust engagement on these, a use of these tools. And it was mentioned, Europe guiding us. We can also guide in Europe. I hope that we will have an indication today of an intention for Ireland to push back strongly on the proposals in the new Common Agricultural Policy to diminish countries' opportunities to seek, to set a value on ecological care, on biodiversity work, on that custodianship, which is so important. We need to have a robust challenge from Ireland in terms of a cap that goes against the vision of a green Europe. We also need to see that Ireland will not seek a derogation in relation to the Nitrates Directive. If we are concerned about nitrogen in our soil, one thing we can do is stop making a special exception to allow us to use even more of it. And this is something else. It's an important thing, and it was such a small amendment that I didn't put it in because I'm hoping the Minister will clarify it's not the intention. The motion talks about farmers as the custodians. Now, I know that farmers and people across rural Ireland are some of the most passionate advocates in terms of the environment and in terms of ecology that we have. But they are not the custodians alone. They are custodians, but we are all custodians. And it is those in every part of rural Ireland and urban Ireland, us as public representatives, those who are part of Birdwatch Ireland, or the beekeepers of Ireland, or the Butterfly Conservation Society, they are also custodians. And there is a concern when we talk about a citizen assembly to motivate people, I think it says, to channel the individual ingenuity of citizenry. We cannot put this all on citizens. The public need to do more, but also part of citizenry is recourse of access to justice. And it is really disappointing that in the recent forestry debate, we had a framing of those who, as citizens, seek to do the work the state has not always done in terms of environmental scrutiny, that they were framed as vexatious and framed as problems. We need to celebrate citizens who step up, but we also cannot leave it to them alone. The state needs to use all of its powers and tools. And I do urge, again, I recognise this is such a positive marker, but let's translate it into really concrete policy actions at every level.